Okay, good afternoon, friends. So we will move on to the another concept, another kind of learning, social emotional learning. Whatever may be the technology improved or whatever may be the kinds of learning or different types of learning we are adopting in your class, in our classroom. The main thing behind that, or the main aim of each and every learning, is that where we have to make our students socially responsible citizens. We have to develop, or we have to create a socially developed students. But nowadays what is happening? So even if you see the students at the primary level, they are developing some kind of behavior, like where parents complaining that we can't control our student, control our children, like that, where we can observe some arrogant behavior, bullying nature among our students. Why this is happening? Where our system of education is lagging behind? Is there is any fault with us teachers or with the, as parents? We are somewhere we may be having some deficiencies in developing our child. There may be differences in the rearing practices. So the main thing behind that is the social emotional learning. So here, the each and every educational institution should emphasize or should focus on the social emotional learning. So let us see what is social emotional learning. So being, including me also, all of us are social beings. That is, we are living in a society where we have to follow the rules and norms of the society. And if we are going to behave in accordance with that society, then only we are considered as an individual, and we are going to get recognition in our society. Otherwise, the society is going to name us differently. So why that happens? Yes, of course, in our society, we see some people who are indulged in antisocial activities. So antisocial activities means where we can't, why? What is the reason behind that people who are involved in the antisocial activities? Like that. So is there is any fault in our education system or in our parental system, like that? So the main thing which we have to consider in our education system is that social emotional aspect of the students. So nowadays what we are doing that as teachers, I want to I expect that all my students should achieve higher grades. I'm not considering his social aspect, emotional aspect, or some other aspects. We are neglecting that aspect. We want, the main thing is the school wants to get the % result, and the parents want that their children should get the first rank or the higher grade or stood first in the state, like that. But what is happening with that child, we are not bothering about that. So therefore here, whatever may be your personalized learning or your collaborative learning, your artificial intelligence or your gamification technique, whatever may be it, the main theoretical background, main base for that is the social emotional aspect of the child. So what is this social emotional learning? So here it is a methodology that helps students of all ages. It is not only for the small children or for the secondary school students who are at the transition stage, that is what we call adolescence stage, are not for the adults. It is for the all ages to better comprehend their emotions and to feel those emotions fully and demonstrate empathy for others. So here, better comprehend their emotions means where they have to comprehend, they have to understand their emotions, and they have to feel that emotions fully and demonstrate empathy for others. Empathy means that putting ourselves in the shoes of others, we say, where we should stand in the place of other person, and we have to think in his or her perspective. So that is the socio-emotional learning. And these behaviors are then used to help students to make responsible decisions, create frameworks to achieve their goals, and build positive relationship with others. The social emotional learning, it is used to help the students to develop positive attitude, responsible decision, to make responsible decisions, and to achieve their goals and positive relationship with others. And it is a vital framework, an important framework through which the students or the people can acquire skills in working towards their unique goals, managing their emotions, nurturing positive relationship, making informed choices, feeling and exhibiting empathy. So here, that means mainly this social emotional learning, it revolves or it involves the managing the emotions, nurturing the relationship, making responsible decisions, and empathy. So it provides both young people and students with abilities to require succeed in life, both within their school and beyond. Not only get succeed in the school, but also if you want to get succeed in your life, if you want to lead a harmonious life in the society, this social emotional learning is very essential. So it should be a vital framework in our educational system. Then what are the keys of this social emotional learning? There are mainly 5 elements or 5 keys are there in this social emotional learning. Self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making, where it should be in our classroom curriculum and instruction, school climate, policies and procedures and practices. Family and community partnership is also essential in the social emotional learning. Let us see one by one what is this self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making. The first key is the self-awareness. Self-awareness means, in the term itself we can find the meaning. Self-awareness, that is awareness about ourselves. That is what I know about myself. So it involves understanding our own emotions, personal goals and values. If, for example, if somebody asks me a question, who are you? Then who are you means, then you are going to answer, I am so and so. Then next, what? Then if you are so and so, if you are Pushpa, what is Pushpa? Then what you are going to do? You are going to tell about yourself. I am going to tell about myself. Pushpa is so and so. She is like that, like that. So therefore, that is self-awareness, where we have to understand our emotions, personal goals and values. So I am, see here some example, I am not how I feel. I am being here now. I'm completely enough. I'm connected to all. My heart's desire, like that. The courage I see, like that. I know about myself. So this, it includes accurately assessing one's strengths and limitations, having positive mindsets, possessing a well-grounded sense of self-efficacy and optimism. So each and every, we have our own limitations and we have strong points also. If we know what are my strong points and what are my weak points, and I have a positive mindset, and I should possess a well-grounded self-efficacy. Self-efficacy means belief in myself and optimism. We can see people around us where there are some people, they say that something is happening to me. If we ask him or her what is happening, then they say, no, I don't know what is happening to me, but something is happening. But where they are lagging, where they are not able to understand, they are not able to identify what is happening to them. That means they are not able to identify their emotions. So here, this self-awareness is nothing but where we should know about ourselves and should have a positive mindset and a sense of self-efficacy and optimism. And here, high levels of self-awareness require the ability to recognize how thoughts, feelings, and actions are interconnected. Like, what are my thoughts? And because of that thought, I have some feelings, and that my feeling is reflected in my actions. So, in that way, all these thoughts, feelings, and actions are interconnected. So therefore, here self-awareness is nothing but simply we can say that it is awareness about ourselves, knowing oneself. So that is self-awareness. The second key is self-management. Self-management. Self-management means again managing ourselves. So this self-management is nothing but ability to regulate one's own emotions and behaviors. One's own emotions and behaviors means here, while telling about the emotions, we should be in a condition to differentiate between the emotions and feelings. What we are going to do, we are going to use the term feelings for the emotions also. So see here, the emotions and behavior means we should be in a condition to control my emotions. What is happening to me? That is the first thing where we have to identify my emotion. Then the next step is the self-management, where I have to control or have to regulate that emotion. If you are feeling angry, how you have to control, or how in a positive way you can express that emotions. That is the another one thing. That is self-management, where ability to regulate emotions and behaviors. And it also includes the ability to delay gratification, manage stress, control impulses, and persevere through challenges in order to achieve personal and educational goals. Sometimes what happens to us, what we are going to do, if some challenges comes in front of us, what we are going to do? We think, no, I can't attend, I can't do this. So we are going to withdraw ourselves and we want to escape from that situation, or we used to avoid that situation. So therefore, that is not the self-management, where you should preserve yourself in through that challenges to achieve your goals, and then you have to control your impulses. In control your impulses means, you know about the Sigmund Freud's theory, 3 levels of mind, with ego and superego. What is ego and superego? Where we should be in a condition to control our impulses. That means we should be aware of our society, where I am, what I am doing, can I do this or not? If something is happening to me, I should be in a condition to control that impulses. And ability to delay gratification. Delay gratification means, for example, if something is, if you want to achieve something, it may be getting delayed, but you have to wait for that. And then if you are that means immediately if you are going to get that, there will be no satisfaction. So where if you are able to delay the gratification, then you can manage yourself. That is self-management. That is the second key in case of social emotional learning. Then coming to the social awareness. So here in the social awareness, what we are going to do, while for example, let us take our society. For some people, what is it? See how he or she is behaving. Can't they sense they don't have the sense of society or the surrounding like that? What it means, because some people they are going to behave in their own way irrespective of the surrounding, whether is there are any children or any elder members are there, is like any senior citizens are, irrespective of all that, what we are going to do, we are going to behave in our own way. That is not social awareness, the social awareness of the people. Here it involves ability to understand, empathize and feel compassion for those with different backgrounds or culture. So here we are taking the people from the different backgrounds or cultures, but have taken the simple example that where you have to grasp or you have to consider the social situation where you are, and you should act according to that situation. And here what I have given different background means, you may be from you are working in a office, and in your office you may be having people from different cultures or different backgrounds, where you should understand their culture, their background, or you should empathize. That means you should be in a condition to understand them, and you should feel compassion for them. That is social awareness. That means you have a knowledge of your society. And this also involves understanding social norms for behavior. Social norms for behavior. See here, social norms for behavior means we have certain norms, certain conditions, certain rules, how we have to behave in the society. So that is nothing but social forms. If you are not going to behave in according to social norms, you will not be considered in that society. So therefore here you have to understand what are the social norms for your behavior. Not only here I have taken the society, if you are considering your family, or you may consider your classroom or your school or your college itself. If you are considering your classroom, you are going to put some norms or some conditions to your students. You should behave like this, in this manner only in my classroom. Whatever may be the other's class, I don't know. You have to be in my class like this. That is your norms for your classroom society. Like in your institution, your head of the institution or the principal may have some norms. So in that way, including the teachers, non-teaching staff and students, they should oblige the norms of that institution. Okay, so that is the social awareness, and we have to recognize the family, school and community resources and supports for the social awareness. So that is the main important key aspect of the social emotional learning. Then the next one is the relationship skills. So relationship skills, nowadays what is happening to our relationship, where even in the family itself, the parents, if we can take the example of parents, if both the parents are working, the parents don't have time to sit and talk together with their children like that. So our relationships are what it is deteriorating day by day. But that is essential, where it helps the students to establish and maintain the healthy and rewarding relationship and to act in accordance with the social norms. And then these skills involve communicating clearly, listening actively, cooperating, resisting inappropriate social behavior, negotiating the conflict constructively, and seeking help when it is needed. Here, if you don't have any kind, we say that, no, I don't want anybody's help, I stay alone. Then how can you expect help from others? Then how can you share your ideas or your feelings with others? It is not possible. So therefore, here relationship skills is essential. That too, especially in the field of education, that with the teachers, relationship skills are essential, because we have to communicate with our students, we have to communicate with our teaching fraternity and with our higher authority also. So that expects, what is that? Listening also. That means you should be ears to the voice of others. You should be in a condition to listen what others are saying, and then you should listen actively. Simply listening is not listening. Actively you should be listening them. You should be cooperating with them, and you should resist the inappropriate social pressures. And you should be in a condition to negotiate the conflict constructively. If there is a conflict or clash between two individuals, you should be able to negotiate them constructively. So that is relationship skills. Of course, all these are essential. These skills are essential for our teaching and in the education system. And the last key is the responsible decision making. See, responsible decision making, for example, before coming to your this RC program, you may be, I think, just this is an assumption, don't feel. So you may be in a dilemma. For example, why? Because you could have approached your higher authority seeking permission to attend the RC program, but your higher authority may not accept, and because of some genuine reasons, like some committee, like maybe NAC is visiting, you may be in the preparation time, or there may be some other situation. So because of that reasons, what happens, your higher authority may deny. And another one side is another thing is there, this RC is essential for you. If you are going to lose this RC, again you can't take up another RC, and if you are going to attend that RC, that may not be helpful for your promotion. If you could have completed RC within this period, like what now you are attending, that may support your CAS, that means career advancement scheme. So here, what kind of decision you want to take, whether you want to come for the program or no. See, here you have to take a responsible decision. Should I go or not? Should I obey my higher authority or not? Like that. So here it involves learning how to make constructive choices. You should be in a condition to make constructive choices about personal behavior and social interactions across diverse settings. So that is responsible decision making. It requires the ability to consider ethical standards, safety concerns, accurate social behavioral norms, and then health and well-being of self and others. Not only mine, have to consider the health of others also, and make realistic evaluation of various actions consequences. What may happen if I take this decision? What may be the consequences of my decision? You should think that also. You should evaluate the consequences of your decision. That is one of the main key in case of social emotional learning. So these are all the 5 keys which we have to develop among our students in the classrooms. Then coming to the social emotional learning, how we can make it effective. So here, if we incorporate 4 elements, SAFE, the acronym SAFE, which were expanded, and it was earned by Derlach et al. So they said that for the effective social emotional learning, we have to incorporate the 4 elements SAFE. That is, S stands for sequenced. Sequenced means connected and coordinated sets of activities to foster skills development. What kind of activities should be involved in the SEL, and then how it should be connected and coordinated. Which should come first, then next what, like that. It should be in a sequential manner. They should be coordinated. And then active. Active means active forms of learning to help students to master new skills. Active forms means no need of giving any kind of activities which makes the learners passive. It should be active forms of learning. And then focused, where this effective SEL should focus or emphasize on developing personal and social skills. It should focus on the social skills and personal skills. And explicit means where targeting specific social and emotional skills. That learning program, SEL program, should target on specific social and emotional skills. That in that way, if we incorporate these 4 elements, we can make our SEL effective. Then what are the benefits of this SEL? So already in the first, while giving the introduction, I told a number of reasons why should we have social emotional learning in our education system. So here, if we see the benefits of this social emotional learning, we can see both the short-term benefits and long-term benefits. So if we come to the short-term benefits, we can see that short-term benefits in our school life and in our daily life, where it helps the individuals to know and to manage themselves. How already I told that the first key is the self-awareness, which makes us to know ourselves. So it helps to know and manage ourselves, and then understand the perspectives of others, that is empathy, develops the skill of empathy, that is knowing others and relate effectively with them. That means we can relate ourselves with others. And then it helps to make sound choices about personal and social decisions, and develops more positive attitude towards oneself, others, and tasks. That means we can have a positive attitude towards us and towards others and the tasks. And it enhances self-efficacy, confidence, persistence, empathy, connection, and commitment to school. And we will have a sense of purpose, why I'm attending the school, why I should be committed to the school, like that. So, and then we can develop more positive social behaviors and relationship with peers and adults. And we can reduce the conduct problems and risk-taking behavior. That means if any indiscipline is, we can see in our students, we can reduce that conduct problems, and decreased emotional distress, the stress which is happening to us with our emotional domain, that is it can be decreased with the SEL. And we can also improve the test scores, grades, and attendance of the students. Most of the students will not attend the classes because of social and emotional problems. Social and emotional problems means where already I told that the students come from different backgrounds and they are not able to get adjusted with their fellow friends, with the teachers, with the curriculum, or in the school. So because of that, here, this SEL helps them to improve their attendance also. Then long-term goals, what are the long-term benefits of this SEL? It increases the likelihood of high school graduation. High school graduation, here I'm saying, most of the students, they are going to drop down. They are going to leave the school in between the intermediate level or at the secondary school level itself. Because of what? Because of the social problem, emotional problems, the adjustment problems they face in their school life or in their educational life. But the social emotional learning, it helps or it increases the high school graduation. And that too, especially at the secondary school level, what happens, we say that it is a transition period where the students are at the adolescence stage. They will be under the trauma. So they will have a lot of emotional adjustment problems. And then as there are a lot of changes physically and biologically, they face a lot of problems. So because of that, they may leave the school. So it helps them to complete their high school graduation, makes them ready for post-secondary education and career success, and they can have positive family and work relationship. Here, I want to mention one example, that a child or an individual who is graduated with first rank is not able to get a job. So why that happens? Because of his social and emotional aspect, where he may not have developed the skills. What are all I told, the 5 keys of the social emotional domain. And so therefore, this social emotional learning, it helps to develop positive family and work relationship, and better mental health, and reduced criminal behavior and engaged citizenship. These are the long-term benefits of this social emotional learning. Then how schools can support this social emotional learning? What is the role of the schools? Or how, as a teacher or as an administrator, how we can support the social emotional learning in the schools? The first thing, that is in the form of policies, practices, or structures related to the institutional climate and student support services are the first thing through which we can support the SC. Of course, in most of the schools and in the higher education level institutions, we have the student support services. We have policies and practices which supports the socio-emotional learning. And even we have to consider the structures of the school or structures related to the institutional climate to support the social emotional learning. And safe and positive school climates and cultures are essential. So most of you, I think you may have observed, most of the students, that too especially girl students, they are going to leave the schools at the secondary level itself. Why? Because they may face the problem of safe environment and positive school climates. Nowadays in the news and in the newspapers and in somewhere we are hearing about what is happening in the schools. So daily in the paper we are going to read, in the news we are going to see. So why this is happening? Because of that lack of this safe and positive school climates and cultures, the children, they are leaving the schools in between itself. So here they are going to affect the academic, behavioral and mental health outcomes for the students. So therefore, as an administrators and teachers, we have to create safe and positive school climates. And the next one, where the school leaders play a critical role. School leaders, whatever may be the teachers, although for within their classroom limit, they can have some measure, they can take up some measures, but as a leader of the school, they play a critical role. If you want to implement something in your classroom, you should seek permission from the higher authority. So here as a leader, the administrator, they should establish a team to address the building climate. That means they should have a team which can address the climate, building of the school. That means building climate means whether the school has a good infrastructure facility, enough classrooms and other toilet facilities, and then the classrooms with sufficient lighting, ventilation, etc. And then adult modeling of social and emotional competence. You can have some modeling like for social and emotional competence. And then developing clear norms, values and expectations for students and staff members. As a leaders, you have to develop norms, values and expectations for students and staff members in your institution. And they can organize the activities to build positive relationship, sense of community among the students, that is through the community related programs like organizing the awareness campaigns like that, and then regularly scheduling the morning meetings or advisories that provide students with opportunities to connect with each other. So most in when I was in high school, also even in our schools we had these morning. Nowadays also we are having. We have we should have advisory committees like what we say for that, school ministry, like that. where we can through that we can develop the social emotional skills among the children. And then we should have fair and equitable discipline policies. Fair and equitable discipline policies means the school should consider all the children equally. That means you are not supposed to differentiate the students based upon the caste, creed, religion, color, etc. For that, you should ensure fair and equitable discipline policies, and then bullying prevention practices. For example, I think nowadays we are putting a banner in the notice board or in the corridor of our colleges, like what is that? A ragging free zone, plastic free zone, like that, where here in the schools we can have bullying prevention practices. They are effective than purely behavioral. Just saying that behavioral methods, we should have that practices in our schools. Here, that rely on reward and punishment. We say that if you are going to involve so and so, like in some activities, we are going to punish you or we are going to reward. Instead of that, have fair and equitable discipline policies and bullying prevention practices in the institution, and then make some arrangements to students by professionals, like organizing the special lectures, counseling sessions through counselors, social workers, and psychologists, and aligning their efforts in the classroom and building. That means today counselor may come and they may give a special lecture that should be aligned with our classroom efforts. Like that, that means as teachers, we have to support and we have to enhance, we have to enrich that services provided by counselors, psychologists, or social workers. And here, even the family and community partnership is also essential in the effective social emotional learning of the school, where they can strengthen the school approaches, extending learning into the home and neighborhood. That means we have to involve the community in our school, where by involving the family and community, we can came to know what are the problems of the children in the family. That is, through parents we can came to know that what are the problems of the students. So that is through that family and community partnership, we can have the school approaches to strengthen the social emotional learning. And after school activities, that means we have to provide opportunities for the after school activities, where we have to support students to connect with supportive adults and peers. That means we have to encourage students to participate in the supportive programs, like some NGOs, they are going to give some awareness programs. So we can make our students to involve with them. And then after school programs focused on social and emotional development. What that means, by involving the students with the supportive adults and peers after school activities, that enhances their self-perception, school connectedness, positive social behavior, school grades and achievement test scores, and also reduces their problem behaviors. So through that means not only within the school boundary, we have to make them to understand what is the social and emotional skills. Instead of that, after the school also, we have to make them to involve in the supportive programs to develop their positive social behaviors, to reduce the problem behaviors and self-perception. That way we can support the social emotional learning in our schools. There are some research outcomes which says that how this social emotional learning, we are saying that the social emotional learning can be effectively implemented, and this helps in the promotion of the different skills among the children. So here one research conducted by Chicago and Hawaii, they found that multiple outcomes with statistical significance beyond the current accepted standards with reference to the social emotional learning. It has published few outcomes. They are like this, where the social emotional learning, it improves reading up to 20%. This is the findings of this the study conducted by Chicago and Harvard, where, and this also multiple outcomes, and 18% of improvement in the affiliation with good friends. That means it has found that the students are able to make friends with the others. They have improved their affiliation with their friends, and then 85% of reduction in disciplinary referrals. See here, 85% of reduction, that is disciplinary problems, it has been reduced to 85%. And then 62% reduction in violence. Violence means here in the school level, what kind of violence we can see? We can see that you may think. Simple violence means the children, they are going to quarrel with each other, like that. They are going to injure, like that. So that we can see reduction in the violence up to 62%, reduction in bullying, that is aggressive nature, that is 51%, and then improvement in honesty, that is 17%. So here improvement in honesty means, one thing I told with the self-management, that is delay in gratification. Delay in gratification, that means where I'm not bothered about the others. That means I'm not bothered about whatever social norms or what family says or other friends or elders says. Just I want to gratify my impulse. So that is what happened, where they are not able to maintain their honesty. But this social emotional learning, it also improves the honesty to 17%. So that is the result of the outcome of these social emotional learning, which is a research based. It is a research evidence. So here, so these are some of the theoretical aspects which I want to discuss. As already I told, I want to have some small activities I have in relation to this social emotional learning. So let us go through that one, where so here one picture is there. I had given a title, identify. Can you identify the emotions in this picture? What kind of emotions you can? You can interact with me. If you want, you can make a list. What kind of emotions you can see here? Any one of you can?
First picture shows the positive emotional state of mind.
We have some names, so please name them. What kind of emotions? What may be it? What it shows?
Happy feelings.
Happiness. Yes, good. Then
Surprising state.
Feeling something jealous.
Worried.
Worried. Okay, sad.
Confused.
This is confused. Okay. Then this,
Angry.
angry.
No,
Is this is a, yes?
doubtful.
This is doubtful.
Sad. Sadness.
Crying.
He is crying. Okay. Then
Wonderstruck.
Surprise.
Wonder.
surprised. Yes, this is surprised. Wonder. Good.
Well,
Then,
Feeling
Tired.
understood.
puzzled.
yeah, somebody said for this it is confused, but this is angry. See his eyebrows. See what happened? His eyebrows. It has gone up, raised. So he's very angry. Okay.
Tension, madam.
Tension. This is surprised. This one,
Confused, madam.
Confused.
confused. Okay. So this is so simply I had given this chart to you. So if you are able to identify these emotions in this like this child, so as a teacher in your classroom till today, did you identify emotions? What is happening with your child, with your students?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Have you identified?
Yes.
So,
Ma'am, many a time,
Many-
madam, face is the index of mind.
you have interacted with them and did you ask the reasons for their emotions? No,
Obviously.
Sometimes.
sometimes only.
But
Yes,
but
he
many
is
a
correct.
time-
What Santosh Kumar is, yes, sometimes, because we are not bothered about what is happening with the student. Somewhere if we see some people, if they are like what misbehaving in the classroom, we used to warn, don't do like that. You are not attentive in my class. We are going to say no, but we are not bothered about what is happening with you. So here, the emotions which here you have identified that, that means even I can say that something is happening to me. And I say that, no, I convey my, what is happening to me with my friend. And that friend may ask, what is happening? Tell me. Then, no, I don't know how to express and what to tell like that. So that means that shows I'm not in a condition to identify my emotions, my feelings. So then what it shows, that shows that we are lagging somewhere behind in understanding ourselves. We are not able to identify our emotions. And the another thing, what I told that is, did you ask your students why, what happened to them like that? So that means you are not in a condition to listen to them. That shows non-empathetic behavior. Non-empathetic behavior means where we are going to think in our own way and we are not bothered about others. So here empathy means where we should understand what is their view and what is happening to them. That is empathy. So here next in the next slide, I will give some situations to you. Please go through that situations and tell me your reactions. So these are some situations I have mentioned. Just write 2 or 3 reactions about each situation. So here the first situation is there. A colleague speaks unpleasant. It is unpleasant things about you in the school. What do you do? What are you going to do? That is the first situation. Shall I go for this? Yes.
I will wait for the right opportunity to take revenge.
Yes. Good. You will
I
wait.
will wait.
Yeah. Okay. I
I
understand.
will.
Wait for an opportunity to take the revenge. Okay. We will consider that also. Yes, of course. Then.
I will talk to the colleague why he does so and such and such
Yes.
things.
You are going to talk with the colleague why you have done like this. Okay. That is another one reaction. Then.
Madam,
Yes, Selva Kumar.
I don't bother.
You don't bother. Yes, good.
You
Then
must be passive listener, madam.
passive listener. Okay. So, okay. And now we have got.
If the colleague says unpleasant things to somebody else about me, I don't bother, as Selva Kumar said.
Okay.
But if he or she says the same to me,
Hmm.
I may ask what
I-
may be the reason for it.
Yes. Okay. Here we have got 4 reactions. Some said that I will wait for an opportunity to take the revenge. Some said I will ask why he or she done like that. And then somebody said I don't bother. And somebody said what is the another one reaction? I don't know. Revenge, one thing. I will ask like that. Oh, which is the correct reaction out of these 4? Which one you feel? The right one? Yes,
I
of
think
course. Huh?
ignoring is the best way.
Ignoring is the best way. Okay. If you are going to ignore what your colleague has done, again, what he is going to do? Again, he does the same thing. He repeats the same thing. Then what will you do?
Again, we have to ignore.
No.
So here, the one thing, sir, Dinesh Kumar, sir, what he has given reaction, I will ask him. I will ask him means where he wants to know what is the reason behind that. Is I have done anything wrong with that? And he wants to clarify. See, if you are going to clarify why he has done like that, then again that issue will not arise. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Taking revenge is not a correct way, sir.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that reflects again what then there is no difference between you and that colleague who has speak about you like that. Okay. If you don't bother is also a good reaction. Okay. But if you are not going to neglecting what we call neglecting, that is also a good reaction. But if you are going to clarify why they have done like that, what is the reason for that, then it will clear that issue there itself. That is the one thing. Okay. And
But
then
he will ignore if you want to clarify, because he will ignore you that no need to clarify.
yes, yes. Okay. So here, like here had taken in your school, you may consider in it is a meeting and a group discussion is organized. How do you participate? How do you participate?
Provide our ideas.
Provide ideas. Okay. Then, and here I want to tell one thing. You have organized a group discussion and all of you in a conference hall, but nobody is ready to initiate the discussion. I'm saying that let Dinesh to start. And Dinesh sir is thinking that let Santosh to start the discussion. Okay, like that. So how, being a member of that group, what you are going to do? Yes, of course, your participation is at a high level. That is, you are going to provide the ideas. Then, will you wait for?
Encourage others to speak.
Are you going to wait for others to initiate the discussion?
No, we can start and encourage them to follow.
Yeah. So here the first thing should be that where you are not supposed to wait for others to initiate or to start the discussion, or simply you can't sit that like they are discussing. No, I will just nod my head yes or no, like that. That should not be a skill in your participation. Okay, that is another one thing. And then here in another one situation I had given, your friend's father is blaming your friend for a mistake not done by him. And you are also there. What will you do? What will you do? But you know that mistake is not done by your friend. What will you do?
We will try to convince his father.
Okay, you are try to convince his father. Then what can you do?
We can make the father aware of the situation from someone else who knows the truth.
From someone else, why? Why can't you?
Suppose because he is my friend or she is my friend, the father may not trust us.
Okay, for that purpose you don't want. Okay, then what can you do?
We can talk to the friend and let him talk to the father and then resolve the situation instead of we telling the truth.
Instead of telling the truth. Okay. Okay. Next, coming to the next situation. So your friend narrates the efforts of her or his in achieving the goal. What will your reaction be? What are you going to do? Your friend is
Congratulate him.
Yes, 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 sir.
Congratulate him.
Congratulate him. You want to? Yes. Okay. Then.
We can also encourage him for his good work.
Then.
Appreciation.
Appreciate. Then.
Ask for a
We may
party.
get encouraged by the friend, or we may get jealous also sometimes that the friend is
Yes, 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 of course. That's why I'm coming. I will come. Okay. You may feel jealous of him. Okay. Then next, come to the last situation. There is a clash between two of your classmates, one of whom is your best friend. How will you solve this problem? There
We'll
are
try to
Compromise them.
compromise them. Then
Negotiation.
okay, you want to compromise. Do you compromise towards? Are you going to favor your best friend?
this may be one of the situations.
Sometimes it happens.
So I'm asking. I asked you. One of you is your best friend. As he is your best friend, no?
Obviously, the compromise is
obviously,
in
I
favor
will
of
be
my best friend.
favor of my best friend. Okay. Okay, then let us consider that also. Then you are going to negotiate between them. Okay. So here, all this situation, it involves some emotions. Okay. So can you identify the skill which was involved or which we can see in the first situation? What kind of skill or what kind of emotion you can feel here? A colleague speaks. First fellow, what he told, he is very angry. See, the emotion, I will wait for opportunity to take revenge, he told. He's very angry. Okay? Yes or no?
No, miss.
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, that happens to me also, you also, for some others also. That. And somebody said, I don't bother. Bother means, oh, I'm not, I don't want to. See, what is another kind of like what we say, like I'm not interested in that, whatever it happens, let it happen, like that kind of attitude. Then another one thing somebody told, I will clarify. That is another skill where we want to clarify. That means here see the skill of self-awareness, where I want to find out what are my strengths and weaknesses, why he has said like that. Okay. And then in your school group discussion, it was, we are not going to wait for somebody to initiate the discussion. You are going to take the lead where you can find out your interpersonal skill, communication skill. That is another one thing you can. And here your friend's father is blaming him for that mistake. Here what you can do, somebody told that we can make our friend, we can convince the parent. That means again negotiation skill, relationship skill. And then what you are going to do, you are going to make, somehow you want to rescue your friend. So you are going to take the help of others. Why? You are feeling that my friend is going to be blamed by his parent. So some empathetic feeling is there. And then here your friend narrates a story. That means sometimes what we are going to do, if somebody is saying something or telling a story or telling about themselves, simply we will sit and listen, but we are not interested in them. When we are active listeners, we feel that we are in their place. We can feel that whatever the hurdles they have faced, whatever the challenges they have faced in their way of achievement, we are empathizing him. That means, yes, of course, you said that we appreciate him, we acknowledge him, we encourage like that. Yes, all that comes because of your empathetic feeling towards your friend. That means you are going to put yourselves in the place of your friend. So that is another one skill. And then when, of course, I told that you may be in favor of your best friend, but here you should be in a condition to take a good decision way to whom. Maybe he is your best friend, but if he has done a mistake, you should take a right decision. Whether he is a best friend or somebody else. So that is the thing. So simply this I have framed this situation simply based upon my classroom experiences like that. Likewise, you may have experienced a number of situations in your classrooms or in your workplace like that. So here what happens if we have the social emotional skills, like we aware we have self-awareness, self-management and relationships skills, definitely we can manage these situations effectively and we can get good results. So for that purpose, I had given this situation. And then here I had given a story. So a little bit fast. Please go through this story and identify 2 or 3 emotions, or if possible, more than 3 emotions. Should I read?
No, please.
Yeah. A man found a cocoon of a butterfly. One day, a small opening appeared. He sat and watched the butterfly for several hours as it struggled to force its body through the little hole, until it suddenly stopped making any progress, looked like it was stuck. So the man decided to help the butterfly. He took a pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon. The butterfly then emerged easily, although it had a swollen body and small shriveled wings. The man didn't think anything of it and sat there waiting for the wings to enlarge to support the butterfly. But that didn't happen. The butterfly spent the rest of its life unable to fly, crawling around with tiny wings and a swollen body. Despite the kind heart of the man, he didn't understand that the restricting cocoon and the struggle needed by the butterfly to get itself through the small opening were God's way of forcing fluid from the body of the butterfly into its wings to prepare itself for flying once it was out of the cocoon. This is a small story. Can you identify some emotions or some skills which you have? Yes?
Sympathy towards cocoon, butterfly.
Yes.
Sympathy
Yes.
towards butterfly.
Sympathy, one thing. And then
Curious.
curious. Okay. Then
Yes. Yes, foolishness.
yes, of course. But what he has done, he has taken the scissors. He didn't wait it. See, impatience.
Maybe
Then
repentance, madam.
repentance.
Because the butterfly couldn't fly just because he opened the cocoon. He may repent.
Yes.
Oh, if I would have not done it, the butterfly could fly.
Yes, that may also. Then
Anticipation.
yes,
Anticipating.
anticipation. Good.
Hope.
Hope. Yes.
Optimism.
Optimism. Optimistic view. Yes. Yes, of course. So here, see, while reading a story or while reading a situation or some events, what happened here, we are not simply reading the story. we are involving ourselves in the story. We are putting ourselves, we are assigning that roles. So that means what, like such kind of small stories, like in our Panchatantra, what we say, we have number of moral stories that are built around the skills, some morals which helps the students to develop their personality. So in the personality means the main thing is the social emotional skills. So like in our education, in the curriculum, we have to incorporate these small stories. This is one example what we can have. And another one story I have, I don't have time. This we have done. So this is, so these are some of the activities which we can adopt in our school, like for the self-awareness, how I am feeling, why do I feel this way, what emotion is that we can have. We can have self-awareness, like what can I do to make me happy, that one. Write your ideas here in the art map. Now I don't have time. Self-awareness, what can I do to make others happy, that is empathy. That means what I told, social awareness also and self-awareness also. And then self-management. Self-management is being in control of how I feel. What does anger look like? How it is? And what makes me angry? If I am able to identify reasons for my anger, then I am able to control my anger. What does anger feel like? And then self-management. Here, how can I calm down when I am angry? So for that, you can, one example, go for a like that, you can give number of activities or some actions. And then this is also for self-management, like tips for when I'm starting to worry or already feel worried. How can I start to get over that worry and how can finish that one? So there are some steps. And then social awareness. Here, what are different emotions someone may feel? See here, I can identify what are the emotions happening to others, that is. And then how can you tell how other people are feeling? By face reading, you told somebody. So by reading their faces, you can say what is happening to them. And what is the reason someone may feel anxious, happy, sad, and scared? That you can do. Social awareness, this is one thing. Where in the footprint one, you can write the emotion the other person is feeling, and the second one, why the other person is feeling that way, your reasons why. Then you can share and exchange that ideas. Relationship skills, what are the qualities look for in a friend, you, and why it is important to be a good friend, and why it is important to communicate with your friends. And then for this one only, building healthy relationship with this table, you can find out or you can develop your relationship skills. And then what are some reasons why you might argue with your friends? How can you solve these arguments? And then responsible decision making. What does responsibility mean? What might happen if you don't make responsible decisions? Here also you can consider situations like that. Then again, this is another one activity. So like picking up garbage in your neighborhood to help the earth, like that. So here, color the good decision in green and the bad decision in red. For students we can. And even I had some activities. Here, first one, list the strengths and weaknesses of you for the letters of your name. For example, shall I take your example, Lila? Dr. Lila? Yeah. So we have one participant, Dr. Lila is there. Her name is Lila and it spells as L-E-E-L. For each letter of her name, like for L, she has to write one strength point and one weak point. Like that, I have formed this activity to make you to know about yourself, self-awareness. If possible, you can. For L, Leela, can you think of anybody? Basavantrao or
Love.
Yes, Leela. Yes, anybody can, please.
L stands for loving.
Yes, good. Leela, somebody is giving strength.
Loyal.
Loyal.
E stands for
Loving.
enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic.